Oh, got it. I found myself.
¿Cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien. Qué contenta estoy that we have agreed to this, that we finally put this together.
Definitely. I mean, it's a subject. Actually, it's a fun subject. Something that not a lot of, put it that way. Tips, just small, tiny tips here and there that we see every day in our.
You and I have been saying, whenever when one of my agents used to tell me, oh my God, what do I have to do to sell pre-construction? I used to tell them, just go to the sales center, go speak to somebody. And you're telling me like, no.
Don't do that. do not recommend that next time, please. There are many several aspects that you should consider before walking into a sales center. It's for your own benefit, not for it's your own benefit. So what do you think? Do you want to start?
Let's go. The floor is all yours. So first of all, thank you so much for being here, and this presentation's all yours. Go for it.
Okay, so what is that scratch on the screen? Do you see it?
I see the blue around it. I don't know from where, but I do see it.
Oh, it was mine. Why? I don't know. Okay, I just erased it. So, guys, let me share. First of all, I'm Beatriz Santamaria. Let me. Oh. Hold on, excuse me. I'm Beatriz Santamaria. That's a beautiful picture of me when I, one of those days that you wake up pretty. But it's now becoming a brand, and these days everything is about branding. So Beatriz Santamaria. Right now I'm an in-house for and Porsche design. I've been doing development sales since 2008. Those were my first tries. Those times were a trial and error. But I was working with my sister, Angela Santamaria, that many of you might know her. So what we're gonna see now are different tips that I have learned and collected through my years, how people walking into the sales center and what is it that happens when you coming in before and after the sales center. So I want to share this here with you. So first of all, this is about do's and don'ts do's and don'ts. If you have any question, I don't know if Andreina want to manage after this some questions and open.
Yes, I'm going to be managing the chat for you. So don't worry, just go right in. And as soon as people start, chiming in, I'll let you know.
All right, so let's talk about the in-house. Of course, who is going to be the first relationship? Who's going to be that person that is going to be taking care of you at the sales center? You're going to have a point person. So let's talk about who is the in-house, and I want all of you to see it this way. The in-house for you is who you are for your client. It's exactly the very same relationship. The same way the client, that XYZ client is shopping for a realtor and is gonna try to choose the best. That's exactly what you should do. You should shop for an in-house. So it's not like just go and see who's on the floor. Don't do that. I mean, if you don't know anyone, okay, fine, do it. But if you have the chance to do a little bit of more research, find an in-house that is more that you relate with that person, because you know what? You're gonna be married to that in-house for the next 2 years or 3 years. So just keep that in mind. That is gonna be the person that is gonna be holding your hand for the next 2 years. So you better shop wise. So let's talk about the in-house. So who is that person? That person that is inside is a very devoted person. We have this myth that we in-house, we go to this, first of all, we dress pretty, we are very glamorous people. We go to the office, we just sit on the desk, and voila, that's it. We're gonna be just receiving people walking in through the door. First of all, it's like exactly the same job that you do for your clients, we do for our clients. And who are our clients? You're my client. You're my client because you're my realtor. You're the realtor. You're the one that is going to be bringing me clients. And I have to do a lot of marketing for you. So that's the first point. The first point is the in-house is that person that is going to keep you informed. It's going to give you marketing. It's going to give you pictures. It's going to give you updates, pricing, all kind of materials that you need at all times for your clients. So that's the first job that we have to do. And trust me, we do it 24/7. This is a 24/7 job. We are like a, like a ER. We are like, I don't know, like we are on call all the time. Why? Because I don't know, our job is massive. We have more people to serve all the time. We don't have 2-3 clients. We have thousands of realtors all the time. So we have to be on call 24/7. So that is the profile that you have to choose when you choose an in-house. Is that person available? Is that in-house a full-time in-house? Be wise. Ask, is that in-house a full-time in-house? It's very important that you choose that. The in-house is going to be that person that is going to be holding your hand, is going to be overseeing the contract and all the addendums, all the forms, is going to oversee your closing at the time of closing. It's going to invite you to see the first pictures when we top off. So that person, that one is your in-house. So that is part of our job, and that's the person that you're going to be working with all the time. It's going to be the person that is going to give you your presentations. It's going to make sure, about the presentations, make sure and ask how that in-house is about giving presentations. Is very important. The presentation sometimes is almost everything during the experience of the sales, the sales-centered experience is about the presentation. So ask, find out, research. How is that person giving presentations? It's very important, because if that person doesn't have a sequence, it hasn't organized the presentation, it doesn't know the product, the presentation is going to be bad, and guess what? You're not going to make that sale. So that is why your pre-construction sale starts going to your in-house. That in-house is going to be traveling with you, because if you're going to go to a show overseas, if you're going to go to an event, if you're going to we do a lot of that. We travel a lot. So that person is going to be traveling with you. Now, why is this important? Because you have to match that in-house that is going to be traveling with you with your life, and be wise about that. Because for this, for the married people, you have to understand and see who you're traveling with and what are going to be those circumstances, so you don't have any problems. I had a very unfortunate experience in the past about something like this. I've been Andreina, are you guys looking at the same slide?
I've been looking at the same slide from the very beginning, the selling pre-construction, the do's and don'ts.
Oh, I'm sorry. Why? Hold on. Now?
Now, yes.
Oh, now you see it. Okay,
yeah.
Good. I'm sorry, guys. So that is just you know, a brief about what I just told you. And lastly, the in-house is going to be replying to any message at all times. It's very important at this. Try to find if you're a busy person. I mean, everything it depends about how busy you are, how demanding your clients are, and where do you meet with your clients. So you have the corporate guy, the real estate realtor, you know, typical the common corporate guy that is all the time just do business 9 to 5, and that's a profile. There's another realtor that they do all the business at night because he's a social person and that's how he conducts business. So if you are that kind of person, try to find an in-house that is available at night, because otherwise you're gonna go crazy. I'm telling you, crazy. Or you're gonna lose a sale, or you're gonna be mad at that person, and then you're gonna complain to the sales director because that person is not available for you. But hey, let's go to the beginning. Choose wisely your in-house. It's as simple as that. This is just match a person that it goes with your style of sale. So who is the sales director in the sales center? So when you sometimes, and why I want to clarify about in-house versus sales director, because sometimes some people, some because guys think that you're gonna steal. And maybe you will. Maybe for whatever reasons, it's your friend, it's that person, whatever reason is. I want you to understand that that has a cost. Why? Because that sales director is not going to be 24/7. So if you are the weekend guy doing business during the weekend, if you're the guy that is doing business at night, if you want to be updated all the time, if you want to have information all the time, if you want to do presentations all the time because you have a lot of traffic, guys, the sales director is not for you. Now, you go to the sales director. Anyways, you want to go to that person. You go to the sales director, fine. The sales director is going to assign you an in-house. And we go back to the beginning. So it's gonna, he or she is going to assign us an in-house that he considers the best for you. But maybe it's not the best for you because of all the items that I just told you before. Because you need to choose wisely your in-house that it fits you better with your demands, your style, and your style of life, your style of sales, and your style of life. So that's why don't circle around. I mean, if you still want to go to the sales director, go, but tell that person, listen, I want to come to you because you're my friend, because you've been having a long time relationship, and blah blah blah. But I want you to assign me this person, A, B, or C in-house. Guys, I cannot tell you strong enough, choose wisely your in-house, someone that it fits your style of sale. So the sales director is someone that is going to be approving prices, of course. It's someone that approves marketing budgets, you need to do marketing overseas because we sell a lot overseas. So it's gonna go, it's gonna approve you marketing budgets. I don't know, whatever you wanna do somewhere here, overseas, in New York, name it, Chicago, whatever. So yes, that's gonna be the sales director, but at the same time, prices and budget, the sales director goes to the developer. So the final word always has a developer. So be patient with us. It's not that we want to say no to you. We never want to say no to you. It's just that we have to go to the developer always. We always end up talking to the developer, but we cannot go all together, go to the developer. It has to be one person, okay? So the sales director is going to be releasing inventory, is the mediator, and most of all, it does all the administrative, like the chief inside the sales director and inside the project and oversees everything that has to do with the investors, the equity partners, with the developer, with us, the in-house, with you guys. So those are the two most important things. So that's why I wanted to clarify who's each one of them. So this is about, hold on, let me, oh my God, now I'm not gonna be able to see this. Okay. Let's talk about, I don't see it, but I remember. So the sales director, if that person is 24, this is just a brief about what I just told you. If that person is 24/7 available for you, work with that person, fine. I mean, we, hold on, because the order is not right. Choose your in-house. So now, how are we gonna choose the in-house? We're gonna check on social media. If that person has presence, if that person is promoting the project, is that person talking about the industry? Why is all this? Again, because some in the real estate industry, we still remain as independent contractors. When you are an independent contractor, some people decide to not work 24/7. That is not a full-time job. So if you don't have a full-time job, you're not gonna be promoting that much your project because you are busy doing something else, whatever it is that you're doing. So that person is not gonna have social media presence. And if they don't have social media presence, it's because they're not full-time. And why do you want to work with a part-time in-house? It's gonna bring you headaches at the end. So do not do that. So look for social media. Ask another colleague. Maybe someone already had a good experience with XYZ in-house. Try the response time. Let's say that you at the beginning you decided. Someone sent you an email about a new project. So that one, it was John Smith. So John is sending you information all the time, and so far so good. But it gets to a point a year later where John totally disappeared from the planet. We don't know what happened with John. Went to, I don't know, is studying, just got married, it's maybe sick, or maybe is going through a divorce, whatever it happens. Remember, when we go to a project, it's a decision for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So many things happen in our lives these times. Now, with all my sadness, I have to tell you for your own benefit. If that person is not replying to you on time, if that person is not working with you at the pace and style that you need, you are free to change. You are free to change. I cannot emphasize more on this, that you are free to change. Just make it clear. Don't create confusion. Please do not walk in with one in-house and next day you walk in with another one, because it's like you walk into a restaurant, yeah, and you see your client with another realtor. It's like you got to your house and you just find your husband with another woman. It's just exactly a very same situation. So do not do that. Do not, I promise, I'm telling you, do not do that, because you're gonna encounter some problems. So you're gonna create confusion, problems, discussions, arguments, cat fights. Do not do that. Just be clear. Send an email to the person and say, listen, John, I understand that you are going through different times. I have decided not to work with you. I'm gonna be looking for another in-house. As simple as that. It's as clean and as professional, and we all understand that. And it happens to us all the time because people change, we change, and we go through different times. You also can ask your broker. Why you can go and ask your broker? Because this is the situation. Sometimes we do some programs. Let's say that we are paying 5, 6, 7% commission, all right? Whatever commission is, 4, 3, whatever commission is. Now, if the office, if that office brings more than 2, 3, 4, 5 deals, whatever the agreement is, the office entirely will get an extra point. So sometimes those situations happen, but sometimes some realtors that are very disconnected from the broker house, you know, I'm sorry, for the broker life, so they don't get to know those things, or maybe the broker didn't communicate it, or whatever it is. But it's good that you ask, or ask your in-house if the broker, you know, if you the office has any sort of incentive. Sometimes we tell you, if you do more than 2 deals, at that point, sometimes that point is not for you individual, that point is for any deal that the office has, you know, brings to our sales center. So that's why it's good that you ask to your broker. Now, the brokers, sometimes some brokers have individual agreements, so do your research. So you, all this about doing your research is for you to have the freedom to choose wisely your in-house, because that person is the ultimate person that is going to be married to you for the next 2-3 years on that project. So that is the
start doing random ass Zooms about, I'm gonna talk about all the stuff.
Sorry. Anyone has any question? If anyone has a question, raise the hand. Okay, so I'm gonna continue. So let's talk before arrival. So finally you have your in-house. Now you decided that you want to work with Beatriz Santamaria because XYZ reason. So before you come to the sales center, I recommend you call. Listen, Beatriz, I'm gonna be Thursday at 10 a.m. at your sales center with this person. The profile of this person is such, this, that, right? Why is that important? Because I'm gonna be prepared. Because I'm gonna understand better what is the situation. And I want you to understand the in-house, the sales center experience is a short time. It's a very, sometimes it's a very emotional purchase. Other times it's a very analytical purchase. So, but at the end of the day, it's short time. So let me know before so I understand who your buyer is, what they believe on. Are they coming with kids? What time are you guys coming? For how long? What is the schedule for your day? You know, let me know all these things so I can prepare the show. So call me, and I've got this and my very first years of doing development. And at the beginning, I was like, what is this person talking about? So I remember these top producers, I'm telling you, top producers, they would call me and they would tell me, Beatriz, listen, I just want to work with you. We haven't worked before, but please say, this is my picture. This is me. I'm gonna be coming in with this client. Just say hello like you've known me for the entire life. And I was like, I mean, and they were right. So, and I get that more often than I thought before, or maybe you guys thought before. So don't feel afraid or ashamed that asking for this. If you don't know the in-house and it's the first time that you're going to be working with that person and you coming in with a client, ask the in-house, tell them, listen, John Smith, listen, I haven't worked with you, but I want you to say hello to me. Like, we've done 1,000 deals before, and if we have to lie about doing the business before with you, we'll do so, because we want to create this good environment about trust and you know, a strong relationship with your client. You wanna look like you are very well known in the industry with that client. So don't be afraid. Call us and tell us, be friendly, at the moment that I walk in, okay? So we've done it. I've done it, and I love doing it because it's just like short time, and I love doing that. So second, guys, very important, tell your in-house, do not talk negative about the competition. Why is this? Because maybe you are thinking that you're gonna sell the project A. The client is going to purchase that project A, and guess what? On the way to the project, your client fall in love with project B. Saw it, love the location, love whatever. Clients are very unpredictable, and decided to purchase. And he kept in mind that project B, but you went to the presentation with in-house A at project A, and that in-house starts talking negative about project B. Right there, didn't like project A and killed the sale at project B. Very important. Tell your in-house, do not talk negative about competition, because that in-house could kill the sale, both sales, at the project that you are listening the presentation to, and at the next appointment that you have, that it happens to be on that project that your in-house is talking negative. So be very careful with this. I personally, I just do not talk negative, because I don't know when I'm gonna mess up the sale. I mean, anything can happen. At the moment of the presentation, anything can happen. It's showtime. Remember, it's showtime, your life. Your cameras and your white television is just like that. So tell your in-house not to do that. Some people have the tendency to do so. So ask for that. Be very emphasize on this.
Now, Beatriz, we have a question from Walter. He's asking if they should register the client before stepping into the sales center.
Yes, Walter, I know I love you a lot. A lot. He's a good friend. The registration, guys, pre-registration, it truly doesn't exist in development. Maybe some developments are more flexible than others. And I understand, I'm with you. I'm 100% with you, Walter. And like you, we have another 1,000 realtors. Pre-registration, it does not exist. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because you're gonna tell me that you're working with such client that is right now in Argentina. But that client in Argentina is also working, is not only working with you, Walter, is also working with Andreina. And as you know, Walter, we have a client that is on that situation, and he works with several realtors. So how am I gonna pre-register that guy? This is not my thought. I'm telling you, the developer, okay? The developer, this is the way he thinks or she thinks. The developer is saying, why am I gonna register that client with you, Walter, if maybe this other realtor is gonna bring the contract? Then what's gonna happen? You guys are gonna have to split commission, and it's gonna be a cat fight. Or why am I gonna pay you the commission just because you pre-registered before? And let me tell you, some people abuse. When you give them the chance, some people abuse. So they will send you a list. They will send you the entire email list that they have, 100 emails. And you are like, no, you cannot do that. I mean, there is something called procuring costs, where you have to demonstrate that you've been interacting with that person. And it happened to me in a project where this realtor A, she was working strongly with this client, and she was, back and forth with all kind, with emails and pricing and pictures and that, and she demonstrated that. And then the client walked in with another realtor, and that realtor closed the deal. Who was the realtor? I don't know who was this realtor. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a cousin, an uncle, no, whatever realtor was. But because this person demonstrated interaction and that she really sold the idea, the developer decided to split commission among the two realtors. It was quite ugly, but that was the result. So don't think that you're gonna pre-register just because you sent information. When you are procuring the sale is when you really are selling, and selling is interaction. Selling is not doing the marketing, just an e-blast. I'm sorry to tell you this, it's horrible, but it's the truth. It's what happened. I'm telling you how the developer thinks. Yes.
Now, Beatriz, somebody else also asked, what if I have a buyer agreement?
A buyer agreement. Well, if you have a buyer agreement, it must be because that client has very clear not to go with another client or with another realtor. It makes no sense.
Now, I have another one that says, what happens if the client goes alone and they have been pre-registered with them?
Clients walking alone.
I'm telling you, has an office. When you tell them, oh, just call the in-house, register them. Girl, this is what we're doing this presentation.
It doesn't work that way. Don't go and register it. Guys, forget about that. You have to procure the sale. You have to have interaction with the client. You have to procure the sale. I cannot be
now. I have Claudia asking, does that mean that if I bring the client for presentation and somebody else brings contract, you will base it on the contract?
That's going to be my next slide. Okay. That is going to be my next slide, and be very careful with that because not all the developers follow the same rule, even though I think that they should. That's my personal thought. I mean, but I will talk about that. I'll talk about registrations. All right.
Perfect.
Any other question?
No, not so far. I will interrupt you if needed.
Okay, go ahead. So when you are, remember, we are prior arrival. So we are talking to this in-house and we tell them about the warm hello, about not speak negative about the competition, and also to give you the registration. I cannot be more clear about this. Ask your in-house to hand the registration to you. Why is this? And now, this is where it goes, it becomes really good. Because in the registration, you're gonna find a spot in the corner. It's gonna be right here in the corner. This is completely white. I didn't want to bring any other registration because I don't want to relate to any project, but usually here in the corner, this is the white paper, right? So here in the corner is gonna say the name of as an in-house. So you can write down that name, that in-house name. Why? Because be kind to us. We are dedicating a lot of time and effort to you. And maybe if the receptionist or we forgot to write down the name here, just write down the name here. Just put my initials or on my name. The date, guys, date your registration. This is one of the first steps of procuring costs. Date. And then usually here in this, the very top of the paper, you're gonna find your client's information. And at the very bottom, and then in the middle is just marketing stuff, nothing important, but here at the very bottom is your name and your office name. So what is important here? Why do you want this registration given to you? Because if they give it to your client, it's gonna be your client filling up the information. So here some people are gonna kill me in my in-house work. They're gonna kill me, but guys, this is the truth. So you're gonna fill out this information and you are just registering this person. This person is just about to walk in. This is not a contract. It's not a contract yet. Okay, so what to write? Name. Yes, write down the name with all the names possible and last name possible. You know that in South America, we have like 4 last names, write them all. You know, you have to have clear who's the person walking in. That person is walking in with the wife. Write down the name of the wife as well. With kids, write down the name of the kid. Oh, you don't have room, don't worry. Just write it down, just scratch all over the place. If it's 5 people arriving at the presentation, write down the 5 names. Why is this? And I'm gonna tell you, because some clients are very tricky. You know, you did all this effort and you brought it to the sales center. That is gonna be the one buying. So Andreina bought, and I'm sorry, she registered, and then it came Walter. Walter tells Andreina, you know what? If you purchase with me, I'm gonna give you part of my commission. So Andreina feels very thrilled about that and goes with Walter. But to do so, because Andreina is the one registered, so Andreina is gonna purchase under the husband's name. It happens all the time. Now, how am I gonna know that? I don't know who your husband is. I met Andreina. I didn't meet Walter. I didn't know that Andreina was married. Remember, you know, you realtor, you're my client. I know everything about you, but I don't know everything about you and your clients. So there's no way for me to know. So sometimes some realtors get upset to us because we are tricking the deal. We don't know the client's life. I don't know who the kids are. I don't know the wife. I don't know the ex-wife. I don't know the girlfriend. I don't know. I know nothing about that client. I know about you. You're my client. So if you know all those names, write them down always. Even if you have them, you know, clients are very tricky. So write them down. It's very important that you have all those names there so you can be protected a maximum. Because this registration, the registration is the paper that is gonna be the beginning of your procuring cost. Just walking in to the sales center with that client is just right there, the beginning of your procuring cost. And the second one, then you have the registration, and the registration is the piece of paper that is gonna protect you the most. Also, the emails that you're gonna be interacting with that client, keep them all. Interact with your client. It's not about a marketing, just that, no. Interact. So in the future, if you have to fight for a commission, you can show paper. Now, then you have the phone number. You have address, phone number, and email. Now, guys, just give where the person is coming from, the nationality. You know, if the person is coming from Chile, Argentina, Brazil, whatever place is, or Chicago, or New York, just write down the city. There's no need for more. It's just the registration. We are just starting a relationship. And then you have the phone number and the email. I would love to have all that information. To be honest, I'm going to be honest with you. I would love to have all that information. But remember, we are just dating. We haven't married yet. I mean, why are you going to give your clients information to that project if you don't know that project is, the client is going to purchase in the project? So create an email for all these adventures of going to the sales center. I don't know, call it Anita 305. I have someone, you know, very close to me that created the email anita305@gmail.com just to register a client. And guess what? That happened in 2010, I think so. And today she receives emails for all kind of projects in town. So how that happened? If she went to register that client with Anita 305, how is it possible that today that email is getting information from projects all over town? So how is that happen? I'm going to tell you how it happens. It's not because your in-house did something wrong or because your sales director did something wrong, because when you give the email, remember, we have in-house, sales director, tech support, developer, marketing company. We have the contract administrator. We have the title company. We have the interior design company. We have all, it's self-reconstruction is a whole show. Just imagine the Circo Solero. It's perfect. But behind curtains, we have a lot of people. So you don't know how or where that email is gonna be, handled. So if it's the beginning of the relationship, which is the registration, just create an email. Just create an email and do not write down any other email. So that's why the registration should, ask for the registration for you, and you'll fill it up. Tell me about this. So that's why the registration, once you fill it up, give it back, just because of the names and the date and the in-house, date and names of your client. Names, yes, all of them, the entire family, grandparents if possible, all of them, all right? I cannot be more clear about that. And then take a picture, keep records of your registrations. Do not lose them. Do not lose a registration. Do not. Now, and then give it back to the person, because we have to do our job, and now part of our job is to fill out that registration, because we need to show that we are doing presentations. I have to show it to my sales director, the sales marketing company, to the developer. It's a big show. It's a big company behind curtains. It's not me. It's not only me. Behind me, we have more people. So lastly, very important, ask your in-house, do not hand out your business card to your client. She or he should not be doing this to your client, because my client is you. That person is your client. So this is very, very important. And I learned that the hard way at the very beginning. I didn't know. I thought that it was a very professional thing to do, just to hand out business cards. So I learned, I got yelled a couple of times because of that, until I learned that you don't do that, because that person is not my client. You are my client. So the only person that should have my contact is you. All right. Any questions so far? No questions? All right. So let's keep going. So registrations, I already told you what information to give, date, names, phone number, and email. I already told you what to do, what information to give. Very important, for how long that registration is valid. Ask, and if possible, ask to get, write down on the registration. Some companies, some developers, they don't write down the time, or they don't specify there. Sometimes the registrations are very simple. Sometimes some others are more sophisticated. Let's put it that way. Some registrations are going to be as simple just as a photocopy, just one page, nothing else. It's just going to be just one page, and they're not going to give you. There's nothing malicious. It's just the way they conduct business. And other registrations are very fancy. They have everything. Like the project I work for it has like 3 carbon copies, and different colors. It's even numbered here, right here. They are numbered. So they are very, those registers are very strict. We don't have thousands of copies for, no. I get a registration only at the moment that a client walks in, and the only person that can register that client in the system is the receptionist. I have no access to that. I have no access to the system. Most of us, we don't have access to the system, just for you to understand. So I'm telling you, in the registration, ask for how long this registration is valid. Some projects will tell you 30 days, others 60, or others 90, others for the time of the project. it depends, but it's very important that you understand and you know for how long, because remember procuring costs, this is the beginning of your procuring costs. And so let's say that it's 90 days. By day 89, I recommend you invite that client for a coffee in my sales center. Hey, let's pass by and say hello to Beatriz. For no reason. Let's go. Some projects, some projects, they have the opportunity to give you lunch because we have restaurants. Others have a nice coffee. Others have a nice glass of wine. So just pass by with your client. Right there, boom, again. So any questions? No questions. I hope that trick is clear. It's very important down. And always keep a copy. So pre-register, just going back to Walter's question, pre-registrations do not exist. We try to do a courtesy log. We have a log. Some projects have a log where they write down some names that some realtors are working with, but it's very complicated to enforce that. It has a legality. It's not because we don't want, it's because it has a legality behind. So let's talk about sales presentations. So now we are at the sales center. And when you walk in, very important. When you are getting to the sales center, be clear, know the name of the person that you're gonna be visiting, because you already did the research about who's gonna be the in-house that you're gonna be working with. So ask for the person, learn the last name, because maybe there are two Beatriz in the sales center. So learn the last name. No, I'm gonna see Santamaria. I'm not gonna see Smith, Beatriz Smith. No, I'm gonna see Beatriz Santamaria. So learn the last name, because in some sales centers there are two people with the same name. So scheduling a timing is very important, that you understand what's going to be the product that you're going to be selling, so you don't run behind the schedule. Sometimes you got a client that wants to see 3, 4, 5 projects, and that's good. I love that. And but understand the timing, that you're gonna have a timing. You need time for valet parking. You need time for the registration. You need time to and then you need time for the presentation. Sometimes some realtors, they schedule all that in 1 hour. Do not do that. You're killing you are killing the sale. You are killing the sale. That never happens in an hour. It's not gonna happen in an hour. So if you are scheduling, so I'm gonna give you the parameters, how to go. If you are giving, it's a investment, pure investment development, where you're gonna have to be doing a lot of numbers, and your client loves numbers, and they wanna analyze the market, and they wanna analyze return of investment and rents and all this. Prepare at least an hour and a half or 2 hours. Do not think that this is not general real estate, guys. This is not general real estate where you're gonna be walking in and walking out. No, this is a sales presentations. It's show time. So if it's pure investment, a lot of time. If it's pure luxury, second home, a lot of time. Prepare at least 2 hours in between presentations. Now, everything in between, you can squeeze it a little bit more. Why? Because it's not too much into numbers, it's not too much into luxury. When you are gonna be selling luxury, everything is about words, about color, about design, it's about views, it's about the architect, it's about the interior designer, it's about the brand. And how are you going to describe all these things that I just told you when it's reconstruction, if it's not with a lot of words, with a lot of pictures? In luxury, we need a lot of time. So guys, do not rush me, because we're not gonna get the sale. If you're gonna come to a luxury project with 40 minutes, 30 minutes, It's not gonna happen. And if you're gonna go into numbers with 30 minutes, it's not gonna happen. I'm telling you, it's not gonna happen. The selling is not gonna happen. Dedicate time to your presentation. Give us the chance to sell. The brochure, very important. Every single brochure, if you are very picky about contacts and about handling and controlling your client, I just want you to know that in the back, here is, I just want you to know that in the back of every single brochure, right here in the back, is all the developer information. And I want you to know that inside the brochures, most of in-house, we take the brochure for your client, so the client is hands-free. Why? Because you want that client as comfortable as possible inside the sales center. So grab everything for your client. Now, lunch. If you have a tight schedule and you are in a rush, your client has no time to for give me a call, Beatriz. I have no other times that 1 p.m., 12 p.m. I have no time, but I do want to go to your project. I don't want to go to anywhere. Give us a call and tell us to order food for you. We'll be more than happy to do so. We all, the entire in-house community, will be more than happy to have you at my sales center, and we'll prepare a nice, a small, or whatever you want, a small, you know, I would prefer like a gourmet sandwich, nice, well presented, so we can present and have lunch at the same time. Do not go away. Do not go for lunch. Lunch, you know, having lunch in a restaurant is 3 hours. Those 3 hours could be in my sales center. So come to my sales center. I will do so for you. Drinks. If your clients, this, and why I emphasize on drinks, because some people would like to have a glass of wine. It's very nice to have a glass of wine with my clients. Some countries, like some South American countries, they are very into, some in wine, some others into whiskey. So if your client likes whiskey, ask me for whiskey, and I'll have you a whiskey at my sales center. I will do anything so your client is comfortable. Don't be afraid of asking for wine, champagne, whiskey, anything. Just ask for it. Maybe we run out at that moment, but most of us, we have some sort of liquor at the sales center for you. It's not to get drunk. It's just to be friendly with your client. Now, who's gonna be leading the presentation? Guys, we are going to be leading the presentation. Let us do the job. The sales center is not for you to come and have a whole show about you. Understand that we are here every day. We do thousands of presentations a year. We do this all the time. We can read your client's behavior. We can see everything. We ask the right questions. So let us do our job. Please let us lead the presentation. I cannot ask you this more. It's very important. Yesterday, I was talking to some of my colleagues. I mean, what would be one of the most important things during the presentation? And this is the most important one. Everybody, almost everyone that I spoke to is, please let us do our job. We do this every day. So let us lead the presentation. Of course, remember that you choose wisely your in-house. So now that you choose the right in-house, let that in-house to do your presentation, okay? Any question? No questions. Now, so we're gonna close. Now we're gonna, what's gonna happen? So what happened at the sales center? We're gonna say hello, gonna be asking me, Beatriz. I'm gonna say, hi, Andreina, how are you? So nice to see you. I haven't seen you since last time with your client. That was a nice sale. Whatever, I'm gonna say whatever it has to say, you know, just to break the ice, okay? Then I'm gonna give the presentation. And then we're gonna go to the scale model or to the apartment that we have to show, the kitchen, blah, blah, blah. try to have that client hands-free so that client can go and touch everything. So try to get for the woman, the purse and the brochures and everything away from them in a safe place so they feel comfortable and they can go and touch, they can see, they can point out the scale model. So that's what's gonna happen there.
It's 11 o'clock.
I'm sorry, it's late. So I'm gonna try to wrap up here. And then do not rush. Do not rush. This is not the moment that you saw the kitchen and you're gonna run out of the sales center. Do not do that. At that moment, that's the moment when you're gonna ask for a private space, a private room. It's a meeting room. Okay, guys. So now you saw it. Let's go and let me do a brief in a brochure. You're going to and take all the brochures and say, okay, Andreina, what is the apartment that you like the most? What is the floor plan that you like the most? At that moment, that person is going to open up. All of them are going to open up. Few of them won't do so, but I like better this and okay. So you like the floor plan A or the B or the C? Okay, good. So here is the floor plan. I'm gonna write down all the numbers and I'm gonna write, okay, so how do you feel comfortable that you're gonna be paying this apartment out? Yeah, that is the moment to ask questions about money. And guess what? If the client starts opening up, then you start closing the deal. Because at that moment, if you see or feel that me, Beatriz, I see that my conditions are fitting that client's conditions, I'm telling you, we're getting a deal. That client is gonna sign a contract. That I'm telling you, will sign, I will do anything to sign the contract, but we have to follow these steps. Warm hello, presentation, we're gonna see and touch the scale model or the kitchen or the bathroom, whatever you have, we have to show the sales center, and then we have to go to a place and talk about what is it that we saw. That's the moment where we're gonna be interacting better with our client and opening up to all the questions. And questions and money circumstances. Let me find out what are the money circumstances. For you to show off. Now, this is not, dear realtor, please do not show off at this moment, because I see a lot of times when the realtor says, oh no, don't worry, we're gonna go and discuss about this. What for? Don't you want the deal? I mean, this is not about you, this is about the contract. So do not go run away with the client because you want to give your own opinion. So why did you bring it on at the first, the first step here? I mean, why? Unless you want to give them a comparison for something else that you want to sell. And guess what? Let me know. Call me ahead. Remember the phone call that I told you to do ahead? Call me ahead and tell me, Beatriz, listen, this client is not going to buy there. The client doesn't have the budget or whatever reason, but I need you to give the presentation. Okay, I'll do so. I will do my presentation, but I already know what's going to happen, that you are trying to do something else. And I get that a lot of times, and I've done it. I have no problem giving a presentation to someone that I know is not going to buy. But I'm servicing you. Remember that you're my client. You're my client, so I can do that for you. But if that is not the case and you didn't tell me before, do not run away with the client. Let me do my job. Let me run the numbers for that person. Let me try. Any questions? No questions. So,
no questions. So far, so good. This is, I mean, amazing.
So those are the tips that it happens in our in-house life. It's a different world. We don't talk a lot about this because there is no formal training for this, for the development side of our business. So I came up with this training, and as I said to Andreina, I have, there is this and there is more. We can talk about contracts. Oh my God, most of you don't read the contract. You don't read the contract. Can you believe you don't read the contract? It's crazy. You don't read the contract. You don't read the e-condos. You don't keep the registration. And the most important of all, you forget about your client. 2 years later, who's managing the client? I'm managing the client. So guess what happens? Your client forgot about you. So sad. It's very sad. Any questions? So we're gonna keep doing more of these trainings in the future with Andreina. We're gonna be talking about contracts. You know, from my point of view.
We should do part 2 next week.
We'll do so then.
Yes, I think that this was amazing. I'm telling you, for somebody that works inside the office, every time they used to say, just go to the in-house, just go hang out with them, you know? And it's not like that. And I think you and I have had conversations in the past few days about the right steps and how to actually guide the agents. So I think we should really do part 2 next week and show them the contract and the condos and, you know, the condo docs and, you know, the second part of this amazing presentation.
Yeah, very nice. I'm very happy to do this and share a little bit about my in-house life. That is very exciting. Any questions, guys, before we go? Walter, what are you laughing at? I know Walter.
I miss Walter because we used to be in the same building when I was at Optimar for a few years. So I miss seeing you around.
Walter. Okay, so anybody, any other question about?
Let me unmute Walter because that's why we're not here. There you go.
Okay, question.
Now we can hear you.
We are doing virtual closings right now, and they are making.
Actually, that's why I was a couple minutes, 1 minute late. I wanted to log in before because I was talking to someone very important in our industry. They are in the process of closing. It's not my project, but they are in the process of closing, and they are very concerned about this situation. But now there are some title companies that are getting certified, like they did it in a rush, getting certified to do so. Actually, 2 projects, because someone else asked me for someone yesterday, and yes, they are moving to virtual closings. With obviously it has to be with someone certified to do so.
Okay, but it's something very sensitive that usually we get in trouble later with that. The punch list.
Mm-hmm.
Clients want us to represent there, to go in the unit and to see defects or whatever is be marked there. Are we allowed at this point to go in the building?
Well, I don't know. Remember, this is very new, but I know that they're going to be doing the virtual closing, the virtual closing, which is the most important thing for the client and for the developer. And then they are scheduled. This is what I've heard that this project is going to do. This is a commercial development. She told me that they will do the virtual closing and then they will do the walkthrough in another time. But I don't know how they're going to arrange the legality of that, because remember that the closing has to have a walkthrough. But I truly don't know. I mean, I didn't, we haven't had this experience, but I know that 2 projects are right now, today, they're gonna implement that. I know that this commercial one was, I recommended two title companies to do so because they are certified to do virtual closings.
Okay.
Any other question?
Guys, if you have a
here?
question,
let me see.
mute yourselves and ask away.
Marianella. Hello, Marianella. Stevan, my dear Stevan. Okay, guys, so, and Claudia. Okay, so if you have any question, just contact me and be in touch with Andreina. She's gonna be setting up more of this. Maybe we're gonna be together doing this. I'm very glad to be on her forum and with her people, because she's a leader in the industry. She's independent, very important.
Thank you.
Very important, independent. So we do create, train on anything we want to for you. So
we're being controversial and just talking.
Exactly. So So keep in touch, and you know, be tuned for next time. We'll talk maybe about contracts or maybe about condo docs, about closings. That the in-house. Remember that this is a 2-3 years marriage. I mean, how much can you talk in a 2-3 years marriage? A lot. We have a lot of stories to tell in a 2-3 years marriage.
All right. All right, guys. Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining. This was amazing. Beatriz, let's do this again next Thursday, and let's do part 2. And I can't stress enough how honored I am to have you on my Thursday Mastermind. This was wonderful.
Very nice, and thank you for having me. Very nice.
No, thanks for being here. Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.